Yes. It's happening. Facebook Live is coming. Welcome, people. It's yes. Maybe I need to do something because I have to put the volume off there, because otherwise you hear me twice. Welcome. Yes, volume is off. Yay, we can start. Welcome,
What the heck?
today.
Your sound is breaking up.
Real talks, and that is.
Yeah, I was wondering if that was just me. Yeah.
Yeah, it's me as well. So we'll just do what I have moments that it is unstable, but then it's good again. So today we're going to talk about mindset matters, how much it matters, what your mindset is, and how much you can also how you can change that, how you can deal with it, or whatever is going on. And I really want, we're just going to be talking in the flow what we feel like sharing about mindset. And for me, it's really it's always, I was already from when I'm very young, I think I was already very positive always. I always had my rose-colored glasses on, and it really worked for me always. It really worked for me, always being very positive, always have a outlook on oh, it will get better, lots of faith. And I had that naturally already, I think, for myself, and it really helped me through my whole life.
Yeah. I know negativity on the contrary side of it, when you are negative and when you allow frustrations and boredom and anger to consume your mind, your mind gets set into a rut, and you're just it trickles down like your chakras or something, because when you're not a happy person and when you're negative, you're just unhappy completely. There's no joy, there's no gratitude.
And it can also just spiral down and down and down. And sometimes I feel like you can go into it and then you get sucked by it, and it goes deeper and deeper and deeper, and then it's difficult to get out. But a lot of times I also feel is it yourself or is it something else? What is having those thoughts? What are those thoughts? Is it you? Is it something that you picked up from someone else? Is it a frequency? Is it it's a lot of times you're not even aware is it actually you that has these thoughts, or
Yeah.
do you have to give them that focus, or sometimes you feel oh, it's better to redirect your thoughts to something else that's more positive, and sometimes you also have to feel it, so you have to feel it in a moment how that is. Sometimes you have to feel and go into it, and sometimes you have to redirect your mind.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, that plays into with I think Guillaume left.
Yeah, he will come back, I guess.
Oh, okay.
I think he fell away.
Oh, okay. But when you're trying to manifest or change your life, that's one of the first things that they talk about is your mindset. You have to get your brain in a place of gratitude to accept things from the universe without judgment, without worry. Mindset and manifestation go hand in hand.
Because it's anyway, almost all suffering is you rejecting the current reality.
Yeah.
With your expectations or what you thought should be happening, then it's not there yet. It's all your own expectations and what reality should be. And if you like, I can accept it more, like whatever is happening, but sometimes you can't change whatever is happening to you, but you can change your mindset and how you believe and how you perceive and what you do with it. And that can
Yeah.
change every moment. It's like how you react. You get emotional, and another moment not. It's like really interesting.
Yeah, it is. You just changing your perspective on an issue or something that's happening in your life and looking at it in a different way, it can completely change how you see the world. Mindset matters to such a degree. It can make or break you
Mm.
big time. Your brain can eat you alive if you allow it. I've been down that road. I have had I think well, now that I'm learning more, I guess it's called the dark night of the soul. But
Mm.
I went through something where I didn't even feel like my own sons were my sons. I thought that they had been replaced. I I I thought this whole entire planet was fake,
Mm. But
and
in
I
one
was the
sense, it
only
also
one.
is. It's like yeah.
Yeah, Matrix.
Yeah, but but you can sometimes like I had that when I was in Brazil, and I did a bit like quite some things like at a festival, and I had like my mind was also playing tricks on me. I was like I saw how much I was manifesting everything myself out of like love or fear. The moment I doubted something, something in the reality showed that, like confirmed that. And
Yeah,
I was like, it's almost, I had to manifest everything, like thinking beforehand. And it was like really exhausting. Like every little thing you're doing, you have to like think of it, like you're creating it, if you're like that
yeah,
aware. But it was exhausting because like you have to be like very much with it. And at one point I was like, I'm done. I want to just live from the heart, and whatever happens, happens. And then but it was like I needed to really ground myself and central myself. But I really like I started then I could really understand what happens with people when they have like mental health problems, like their mind playing tricks on you, and you don't even know that it's like
yeah.
I was like actually was I was in a hostel, and I was like, oh, that's a shower. I saw someone showering there. And the day after, I saw someone on the toilet. And I was like, huh? The day before was a shower, and I was in the toilet. And then later on, I found out it was a toilet in a shower. But the moment I saw it the first time, I was like, my mind was really playing tricks on me. It was like, and that is how this
Yeah.
reality can work. And I really can understand how people can be tricked by their minds. Like even
Yes.
like things that you can see, not only things what you can think, but also things that you can.
Hallucinations.
Yeah. People have
Like
hallucination,
hallucinations.
psychotic things happening, and then you really think this is happening.
But when we if we can look at that objectively and see that
Mhm.
we are able with that mind to project something in our eyes so that we see it outside of ourselves. Now, why can't we figure out how to do that on an all the time basis and or reverse it and go more within and see a deeper um, cause of life?
Yeah, and that's why you have to like almost reprogram yourself to be more positive, to be like you said, gratitude, to
Yeah,
see things from a different perspective in life, like all the lessons that you had, like you gain wisdom with it, and you gain understanding with it and knowledge. But sometimes still things are like just like shit. And sometimes we also need to acknowledge that.
yeah,
So like, but it's almost like you have to find like a balance between like acknowledging the real and not being in fantasy land.
Yeah, that's hard for a Pisces. Let me tell you that. That is hard for a Pisces. We
Because
we
yeah,
swim
because you
around in
don't.
fantasy land.
Yeah, but you also don't want to be like spiritual bypassing. Everything is light and love, and everything is amazing, and this. But you also need to be like, in reality. Like it's it's the interesting balance that you need to have, like or feel like
I think that
it's.
that's one of the reasons why it's the ebb and the flow, the yin and the yang that we have. Like why there's negative Nancy's that just are never happy. And then there's people like you or me that are like bubbly and joyous and clapping and laughing, and then those people that are angry all the time look at us either with disdain and uncomfort because they can't or won't or haven't ever been that happy. And they're like, well, how could you ever be that happy? I don't, meh, meh, meh. And it's like, I find sadness now. I used to be like, dude, like, why do you, like, I couldn't understand why people didn't like me until I met somebody else that was like me. And I was like, dude, calm down, man. Like, chill out. You're too much. I was like, okay, I get it now. I get it.
Yeah, I had the same at my work, always like, hello, good morning. There was always like happy. And I was like, why are these people not happy? But it's like and then you think something's wrong with you for like
Oh, you don't
first,
need a lighter
like
for
I'm
it. Just start it.
different. And then first you think it's something wrong with you because I'm different. Like, but on the other hand,
Trash.
it takes a while. And it takes a while, like to like, yeah, you are like that. And yesterday I talked with someone, and he says, "Oh, your partner is probably much more introverted or not talking much." I was like, "No, he's the same as me. He's like the same, and he's talking also a lot." So if people meet, both of us were like very enthusiastic, even talking to each other. So,
Some people
but
are like, dude, I need a 5 minute break from this energy. Hang on. One of the girls here at the trailer park, she works here, and she was like, I love you, but I can only take you in small doses because you're so much energy that it honestly starts to give me anxiety after being around you for a little bit.
I had it with one meeting. I came from South America, and I had I did like plant medicine, and I was like high for months. And then I met a friend of mine, and she was like, "You're too free for me right now. I can't deal with you." But it's like you're in a total different like frequency, and it's like, but yeah, it's also you have so much energy. And I think I have that naturally. Like I think I always said like, oh, yoga,
Harder.
meditation, positive mindset
Yeah.
helps, of course. But I have that also naturally, I think, already.
Mhm.
And that is also
It's a
like,
spiritual gift. I
yeah,
think
but
your
also,
energy is a spiritual gift.
oh, that is indeed, but it's also, we have to learn not like what lifts us up, what gives us like higher frequency, no, what brings us down, what are the patterns, the things that we do, what brings us down, leave those things. That is like even more like seeing when your energy changes, and then see like, oh, was that all right what I did, or may have to make another choice next time to feel even better and have more energy.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and that helps you when you're doing that, or when you notice a pattern or a moment, something that brings you down, to look deeper into that and see if that's a shadow that you need to give light to.
I had that recently. I had like a really huge loop, and I was like projecting that, and I was angry. I was projecting that on my partner, and I was not even aware of it in the moment. I was we're like, when we project, we think that this is happening and this is the reality.
Mm-hmm.
And then like really angry. And then I slept, I fell asleep. And the day in the morning, I was like, oh, my mind was playing tricks on me. It was something that is for me within that I was dealing with, like a shadow part with food addiction had to do. Like I was like, I didn't like what he did, like food wise, but it was like me not giving the food that I wanted at that moment. And I didn't let myself have that because I have like quite a willpower to eat as healthy as possible. But sometimes there's like something in me that wants to have like exceptions, like pocket moments. And I probably also have to honor that more.
Yeah.
But otherwise the food demon comes up.
Honestly, what's funny is this is a part that shows about how we really are conscious creators and manifestors. Because so I am attempting to stop eating meat, especially pork. And my son just moved back in with me, and then he bought this trailer, so I moved in with him. Um and he buys pepperoni pizza, or he'll buy bacon, and it's like it's really as soon as you say it to, like, I'll say it to a stranger that I just met. Yeah, I'm trying to go vegetarian, and tell them why, and I try and speak encouragement and light, and then that same day, I promise you, I'll be offered pork, and I'm like, man, why are you testing me?
But it's interesting because it's like the paradox. Like sometimes the universe is testing you, like, is this the new what you need to choose? Or is this the old that you have to let go of? So that's really interesting. But it's like the universe keeps testing you in paradoxes because both realities can be at the same time. And as soon as you make a choice, that is the right choice. But it's like until then, you don't know which, like sometimes like you were being tested. But it's also like I think also you have to let go of like too many things in your head, like too much like, oh, I am this is what my reality is. I think we also have to be like flexible in the moment, I think. But yeah, it's like it's interesting, but also like food, we also use food to numb ourselves in a certain way, to feel certain feelings. And when I do fasting, like my partner's doing a water fast, and when I do that, like a lot of emotions come out that I normally don't feel. And then you see you have like a lot of undercurrents, like anxiety or anger or like frustration that you don't always feel. Like that's why they call it also hangry. Then you like
Yeah.
anger that comes
Yeah.
up, and then you have that, or like or impatience, you have that, but in those moments it comes up even more. And also like sometimes suddenly you can feel a certain way, like out of the blue, like it's not even a thought that you have. It's sometimes you suddenly feel a certain way, and then you need to also know, like, do I give into this or not? And it's
Yeah.
all the time different. Like
Have you Sorry, since you said that and you actually spoke some of the words from it, so I wanted to ask, have you ever heard of or done a hopoponopono?
yeah, lots of times, yeah.
I love that. It has helped me, and I actually found the best one I've ever heard is I found recently, and I'll send it to your messenger because it's such a good one. She explains the Ho'oponopono thing, and does it in a much more open and real truth way, that it's
Mhm.
just it hits you right here. And I just really like her version of it. I'll have to send it to you.
Okay, thank you. Because it's like really, I did it several times by myself, with others, also in ceremony and cacao ceremonies. And for people that maybe not know it, it's like it's the prayer, like a Hawaiian prayer, and it's just like thank you, I'm sorry, please
Please
thank you,
forgive
I'm
me.
sorry, forgive me, and I love you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then you do all those things, and then you can also say it to other people where you maybe have some resentment or like emotion towards. It's really about like forgiving and like letting that go inside of yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you hang on to certain emotions like resentment or like anger towards someone, it's like you take poison all the time, and
Yep.
it doesn't help you.
No, I did it after my third loss of life from family member, and then so it was my stepdad, and then my grandpa, and then my husband. And after all three of those, I had found Ho'oponopono, and I started doing it, and it just in my head as a meditation at night. I had it playing, and it was I was actually trying to do the practice of thinking of a person each time it rounded. And oddly, it wasn't until at least the 30th time that my late husband came into my heart and into my mind, and me getting to say, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. And thank you. It's a beautiful thing to be able to let go and allow an apology to be heard and felt. And it was just it sent me into hysterical tears of release. And after that I was actually able to write um like my letting go poem to my husband, because I did feel a little bit at fault when he passed, because um if I would have listened to what God was telling me instead of all of my friends, and went and got my husband out of the garage where he was staying, and brought him home and healed him, and because he got in a motorcycle wreck and he was just done after that. Then they gave him fentanyl in the hospital, and then he found that on the streets, and that's one of the reasons why I would like to be a stronger crusader on getting fentanyl off of every single hospital shelf. We should never give a human something that powerful and expect them not to. That's another one of the ways they are thinning the herd of the people, is that
And
medicine.
especially in America,
Yes.
like in America is the whole fentanyl thing. Like a lot of people are dying from it, but then you hear
Yes.
like hospitals giving certain medicines that are like really bad, and also when people have like mental health problems, they get medicine, so one of the adverse effects of those medicine is that they want to commit suicide.
Yeah.
And that is like really crazy to just like that's like people knowing that this is the adverse effects and still they give that. There's like there must be things possible that with no adverse effects. You have other possibilities as well. Like you can relax with valerian, and you can have more positivity with St. John's words. There's so many different herbs, like natural herbs available, what people can use. But an American fentanyl thing is really big. Huh?
It even says it in the Bible. It says, I give you all of the herbs of the earth to use freely. Now, when we're given there's the head, one of the CEOs of Roundup, the weed killer, is the same CEO, or he's with Big Pharma. And the reason why that's like, because it kills all the dandelions. Dandelions are one of the most beneficial things for our heart health, our everything. In Gavin's room? Oh, yeah, that's fine.
I also drink a lot of dandelion tea.
Yes. It's a little bit bitter for me. I haven't enjoyed it, but I have drank it.
But I do other things
Dandelion
in
tea.
it. So I do other things in it as well. So it's it's not only the
Healthy.
dandelion. Yeah, I do a lot of different herbs, and I really believe like I'm very much about like
Ooh,
being as natural as possible.
look what I got.
The coconut
It's
oil
the,
or oil pulling?
yeah, it's an oil pulling mouth
Oh, okay,
rinse.
cool.
And I also got those little for your toothpaste. It's like a chewable tablet instead of a paste that you put on your toothbrush. You put
Mhm.
a tablet in your mouth. Hang on,
Okay.
I'm gonna show it to you because
Yeah, there's
I
so many
really,
things.
really like it. And all the stats on it says that it replenishes and replaces like if you have cavities or whatever. It's
Oh.
this.
Yeah, because you can really remineralize your teeth and heal your teeth on a different way. And a lot of people don't even know are aware of that as well. Okay, cool.
Yeah. It is amazing. And oh my gosh, it smells so good. And it has natural mint and I mean, I can pronounce almost all of the ingredients in this, which means it's good.
Yeah, and we're like with everything what we use, we can take alternative, like more natural ways, and then we also feel better because sometimes the negative feelings and emotions come also because we have like lots of toxins in the food and in the things that we use, like what we were also
Yep.
talking about before, like about like there's like certain like dyes that are like in food where people get like more like they get all sorts of anxiety from it or like too much energy, and then the children have like too much energy and then they say like coloring in the food. And
Yeah.
like sometimes it's also the food and also the gut health because it also affects the brain. And I also did a lot of research on that, like how the gut is connected to your brain. And sometimes people can just be depressed just because their gut health is not good. And then they can also clean that out also with natural herbs or like colonics or enemas, like you have different things, ways that to heal that, and then people also feel much
Parasite.
better, and then you feel much lighter.
Mm-hmm. Parasite cleanse. Is that what you're talking about?
And what's the cleanse?
Are you talking
What
about a
cleanse?
parasite cleanse?
Yeah, that
Parasite cleanse.
also. Yeah, you have herbs to just clean your gut, but you can also have parasites cleanse. And people are not even aware that they have parasites all over the body because they put that also in the food and in other things. And almost all causes of diseases are a lot of times parasites. And you can do a lot of things about that as well, especially like natural herbs. It's like a lot of times it's a combination of wormwood, cloves, and wormwood, cloves, and black walnuts. That's a really good combination, but you have other things as well that can really be beneficial to get parasites out. But fasting is also a really good one to get things out of your body. If you like, my partner is now on the third day of a water fast, so that's good.
That's a good. Yeah. Oh, fasting is very difficult for me, but I really enjoy when I do it because I enjoy the here-ness of it, being in my mind about something and being like, are you hungry or are you just wanting to fill your face because you're bored? And you go in and you ask yourself different questions. You're much more introspective when you're doing a cleanse
And
or
because
a
then you feel
fast.
those things. Like then you feel those undercurrents that normally are there, but you don't know exactly what it is, which feelings or which emotions are there. And on a fast, you really feel them in a deeper way. And it's really, really interesting.
Yeah.
And you see also, because like the energy doesn't go to the digestion, it goes to healing your body. So suddenly you have much more energy and like lots of inspiration. And then you have like really cool ideas coming to you as well. So that is like something like people can really do. Like if they want to like change like the mindset, like you can do so many things, like natural herbs, like being more positive, like also like affirmations, like guided meditation with affirmations, like positive affirmations is also really, really good to feel better inside. And a lot of times we are not like the words that we miss, like when we were young, we have to give that to ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, are you talking about like sitting with your inner child, like your shadow work, sitting with your inner child that got left behind?
Yeah, that's like the inner child, but also you have to, like with affirmations, you can reprogram yourself to be like feeling better about yourself, about self-love and self-worth. And that is also really good to do that as well.
Yeah. Yeah,
And give that
sure.
to yourself. And that's also has to do with inner work, but also like shadow work and also affirmations. Like you can do so much yourself, like changing your reality, changing your mindset. And I think that is really good for also to know that, like the things that you can change. Oh, and journaling, writing is a really good one for me. It's like to find out what is like in your subconscious that you don't even know. Like you just start writing about things and then you find things out that you didn't even were aware of.
Yeah. I love to write. I need to do more actual journaling, but right now I just do poetry, and I'm in the works of writing a book, but I need to actually start doing more of the writing than talking about it.
Yeah, but it's also an interesting process, because when you are very like in the inspiring energy, then it's easy to start writing instead of you just putting your focus on there and doing it. It's like interesting how that works as well. If I'm very inspired, that's natural, then I just do that
Yeah. Yep.
in the creative energy mode. But it's like really interesting anyway, like to accept every mood that is there, like whatever you're feeling, a mindset and like emotional feelings. Like sometimes you can be bored, sometimes you can be like a bit like sad, sometimes you can be happy. Like I think it's all about like accepting all of these mindsets, however you accepting all the feelings.
Can I pause and use the restroom?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. I'll or something.
You can put the video off. Stop the video. I put the stop the video. Our damping also.
Oh.
I put you can change it again when you're ready. So it's really about like, I really feel it's about like accepting all feelings in the moment and accepting that sometimes it does feel shit and sometimes you have to cry and sometimes you don't see the that it will be better. And also, even though you know deep inside of you, you know it will get better and you can just have faith and trust. Sometimes in the moment it cannot feel that way, like you can feel just complete utter despair and hopelessness. Shall I put the video on again?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, cool. I think you can, or you have to do that yourself, maybe. Yeah,
There we go. Start my video. Yay. Hello. Oh crap.
it's about like really feeling everything what needs to be felt and then like not having a judgment to it. Like they say, like you are like like you are like the weather, you are like behind it, like then it's cloud coming and then the sun coming, and then not like, on one hand, you are the observer of everything what comes by, but on the other hand, you're also the one who can shift it if you really want to, and can.
Yep.
But you have moments that you can't shift it. You have to feel it, and then it shifts.
Transmute it. Those times, like it's really hard to. Well, sometimes it's hard to decipher which one, like, it is. Like, is this the one I'm just supposed to let go of, or am I supposed to sit with this and heal it and feel it?
Yeah, you never know which the one it is. Like, but I mostly just feel things really deeply, and then I let it go. But I really feel it very deeply. I'm like, for something very simple or small, I cry, and then people are like, huh? Start crying.
I'll cry at a commercial. I'll cry at a moment he shows something just really sweet and really beautiful. I'll just start crying. I have been unallowed to go to funeral, different like events of extreme emotion because of my emotional state. Like how my family wouldn't let me come to my grandpa's when they had the hospice start in that conversation. They wouldn't let me be there because they were like, you're too emotional. And I'm like, that's my grandpa. It sucked.
But it is also because we feel things deeply. We feel the good things deeply, but we also feel like those things, like those feelings really deeply. I one time came too late on a funeral from someone, and then later on, I was grateful that I was later, because I would have cried more than anybody else, and I didn't even know the person. So like I was like, okay, this needed to happen. But it's also a lot of times like other people can't, like, are not in touch that much with their emotions, and then like and they can't connect to it. And I had like one time I was crying so much, and like someone was like admiring that, and she was like, oh, I wish I could tap into my emotions like that.
Yeah, it's very hard sometimes, especially with how society has made it for men. Like it's like they're not allowed, you're not a man if you cry, and that is exactly the opposite of a truth. That's denying a man his emotions, and that's not okay to do. Like if he's hurt, he's hurt. Don't demonize it because I think people are uncomfortable with emotion because they lack it, or they need to do some type of transmutation work with it because there's a reason why they get so angry about it.
Because they need to feel like there's also a reason why you have these to change certain things or just feel it. And people, these are really uncomfortable feelings to feel them, and that's really like the shadow work. Like feel the uncomfortable feelings, and whatever comes up. And you had a really good one, like with the mental health, like especially for men, like the stigma on that, and how it's beautiful if people can cry and be vulnerable and see that as a strength.
Yeah. It has made it to where when a man does cry, when he does allow himself to be comfortable enough with somebody, that it is a large vulnerability that comes out. So on one hand, where we're saying it's a bad thing that men are taught not to cry, once they do, it hits in a much deeper way, because we're like, whoa, you guys aren't supposed to do this. You're really affected. Can I help you? So it makes it more powerful, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. So like everybody's doing like that work is really making a difference, and that is beautiful to that more and more people it's more like accepted almost, like and that it's like welcome to be however you are in the moment, and to understand it as well. And I have also people that are like can't deal with the emotions of others is because they're not in touch with themselves as much.
Yeah.
That's why it's so uncomfortable for
Oh,
them.
here.
Because a lot of times they're like numbing them and don't want to feel them, and then they're uncomfortable when other people feel it. So when people feel uncomfortable with the emotions of others is because there's something needs to be felt inside of them.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, yes, very we touched base on a lot
No,
of
sweetheart,
things.
you wanted for this. That's the milk. Oh, you're cleaning it? Oh, okay. Okay.
So
I was just talking to my son.
I feel we touched base on a lot of different things. Yeah, I saw it. I wanted to wrap it up. And I think we touched base on a lot of things for people to like maybe raise awareness. You're muted. To raise awareness about mindset, mental health, emotions, shadow work, inner work, feeling, accepting everything what is there, and all sorts of things. And yeah, everybody, thank you for watching this. We were going to do it on YouTube, but I had some things happening, so we did it on Facebook. And I will put it up on my Facebook and my YouTube and my Rumble after, and we'll share about it, so you can still watch it. And yeah, thank you for being here. And we always, in the end, we always share a bit about us. I don't know if Keara can do it, but thank you, Keara, for being here, and thank you for sharing your wisdom. And it was also funny when you were doing other things at the same time. Yeah, my name is Janneke Hellebrekers. I call myself Miss Hellbreaker. Hellbreaker is my real surname in English. I just want to help people free themselves on all levels, mentally, emotionally, physically, energetically. I also give healings and courses. Physically, I give yoga meditation. And I also work with energy devices, and here to spread seeds of consciousness on like everywhere I can, to bring more awareness in people's lives and bring more like empowerment. Like you can really, like, there's a choice and you have options and you can change your life with certain things. So I hope that we also shared some of those here. And I also help people with more financial freedom, with different ways that people can make an income as well. And I also want to help that because a lot of people are struggling with this as well. I just want to help people with whatever they're dealing with. So like people, and also I know a lot about like physical health as well. So you can always like send me a DM or check my website. My website is misshellbreaker.com. If you need any help or healing or coaching, you can always message me. Here to help, here to serve. And Keara also has, I don't know if you can come back, otherwise I will. Keara is from America. She writes poetry and makes raisin art as well. She has a lot of creativity and a lot of gifts. So, and a lot of wisdom as well. So we thank you, Keara, for sharing that. And thank you very much. And thank you everybody for being here. And yeah, you're always welcome to also leave a comment and subscribe for more inspiring, interesting content. So bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody.